Good morning and welcome to the fifth quarter AZ. My name is Danny Neal, and I will be one of your co-hosts today for this wonderful show we're gonna have. Great Friday morning, sun shining, and I'm just happy to have a co-host today who's always smiling like the sun. Guy just radiates confidence, radiates love, everything about it. My guy, Mr. Tommy Hernandez. How you doing this morning, Tommy?
Good, good. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good and ready to go. Ready to go.
Yeah, beautiful Friday morning.
Hey.
It's actually graduation. We have a little shout out to Kayla. She graduated today, so her
Mm-hmm.
bachelor's degree in business. So a little shout out there.
Oh, it was graduation, huh?
Yes,
Well, hey, congratulations, Kayla, and hurry up and get it over with so the people from Phoenix can go back home.
right.
I was wondering why all the traffic was last night and stuff.
Yeah,
That's what that's
stay away from Milton, and you'll be all right.
I know, man. Got to wait to go to the Dairy Queen.
Right.
Well,
That's
that's all
right.
right. Well, congratulations to all of the graduates from NAU. Hey, no, it wasn't easy, but they got through it. They're successful, and now they're going out in the world. And hopefully, we can keep some of them graduates here at Flagstaff.
Absolutely. We need some of them to help us hold it down. We're getting old, so we need those young ones to come hold it down for us.
Man, you talking about you getting old. What did that put me at? I might as well go and lay down,
Oh,
man. Well, that's good, man. It's been a good week. Sports is live and kicking in Flagstaff, all levels, middle school, high school, college, pro, everybody's just moving. So it's a fun time of the year. And, holiday bells are ringing and you get all your Christmas shopping out the way.
oh no, I'm the guy on New Year's Eve out there scrambling with the
Well,
it's
well, if you're out there on New Year's Eve scrambling, you're a little
or
bit
Christmas
late.
Eve.
You're
Sorry,
a little bit
my
late.
bad. I'm trying to get the sales.
I hear you. There you go. There you go. Well, that's all right, man. So we all just run a little late now and trying to beat the crowds and everything. But it was a fun time of year and a great time to celebrate these athletes and buy these new basketball shoes and soccer cleats and get everything put up under the tree, man. But
Yes.
yes, that's fun time. So I know you are involved in a lot of things. What you got going on right now?
Oh, I actually have a little break right now since the students are on break, so no softball for a few weeks, so a little
Okay.
downtime and uh, much needed before
I
we
know how that is.
before we ramp up in spring. And I'm traveling almost every weekend, to California and everywhere. So I'll take advantage of this break, get some family time in
That's
and
right.
enjoy it.
That's right, man. Will you tell your family I said Merry Christmas and time to enjoy that. And if you people like what we're doing, please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Um, Send live comments. You have something you want to ask, I guess. You want to ask Tommy. Hey, we appreciate it all. And just show us that love as we move forward. All right? So, Tommy, without moving any further, we got a great guest today, someone who will be the first time that I have the opportunity and the honor to meet. So I'm gonna let you bring her out.
All right. So I'll kind of give you a little background on
Yes.
how how we got her on the show. So I went to go watch an NAU volleyball game, and they had a performance, and it was baton. I don't know much about the sport.
Mhm.
I've seen it a few times at football games, but I knew from the moment that the performance started that I was watching something special. This young lady was phenomenal. Uh, the, uh, the combination of twirl and dance and gymnastics and timing, hand-eye coordination, like so much went into making this performance special. I really knew that I was watching a tremendous athlete. So after the performance, I went over and introduced myself to her and her mother and asked her if she would be part of the show. It's definitely new for us. We're used to
Right.
the mainstay sports, the baseball, football. So I thought it would be something super special. And then I wrote it down, but I learned a little bit about her. So she's won multiple state, regional, and national competitions. She competes in solo, two baton, three baton, artistic, twirl, strut, and presentation. So she does a lot. And without further ado, we'll bring on Cheyenne Sorenson.
Good morning, Cheyenne. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing well, and thank you very much for being on the show today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
All right. And so I know Thomas gave us a great background on you, but would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I've been twirling since about second grade. I got into it randomly seeing somebody twirl on the sidewalk of my elementary school, and it was pretty much just history. I've been doing it ever since. And I started off my football season this year, and it was a really good season, as all of them have been. I've been doing that since freshman year, and it's just a great sport that I really love to do.
Well, that's great, and I I don't know much about baton twirling. I know Coach Beta, and she works with a lot. Did she work with you?
Yeah, she was my starter off coach. She's the one who got
Yes.
me where I am.
There you go. I know Coach Beta. I've
That's
known her for
awesome.
many years. Me and her husband worked together, Mike, with the city of Flagstaff. So I've seen, just seeing that the work she's done. I've checked out the girls and things she has them do. Um, I found out about twirling way back a long time ago when a great athlete, Walter Payton, who's a Hall of Famer, also was a baton twirler.
Really?
And
Wow.
so I been checking it out, and I will say that it is an AIA sport, correct?
Yes.
And you are
No, I'm with
athletes,
the band. I'm with the band.
right? Okay, exactly.
Okay.
And rightfully so, because as Tommy pointed out, you're an athlete, a
Yes.
very good athlete. So, do you play any other sports besides baton twirling?
I used to do a little dance, and I think that most high level baton twirlers have had some dance training. But once I started getting really serious with baton, I kind of dropped everything and really focused on baton.
That's awesome. So to get to the level you're at now, what's your practice regimen like? How many days a week are you practicing? And
Um, I'm usually at the gym every day. I try to practice for about 2 hours on the weeks, and then Wednesday, I get the gym. Most days I'm in racquetball court, so when I have the gym, I try to practice for 3 to 4 hours.
wow, that's some dedication there. So do you how much so you have different competitions, right?
Yes.
So how do you determine what you're working on?
So usually I have a routine that I'm competing at the upcoming competition, which my coach makes for me. And so this my next competition coming up, I have one in Phoenix and then one in Canada. So I'm practicing my four things, which is solo, two baton, artistic, and three baton, which I'm gonna be competing.
Can you explain those to us for us novices out there? I know Tommy named off 4 or 5 different competitions that you compete. Can you explain those?
Yeah, so, like, at the competitions that I compete, the main thing is solo, which is a routine with your 1 baton, and it's mainly to just show off the speed of your twirling, and it's kinda what everybody starts with to show how good you are, and it sets the basis for all your other routines, and then there's 2 baton, which is obviously twirling with 2 of them, so it's your solo, but with 2, and then you go on to 3 baton, which is your 2 baton, but with 3. And then your artistic twirl is more dance based. So there's a lot more dancing than twirling, dancing and gymnastics and acting. So they judge you really off of your musicality and like your face and like, are you gonna make somebody cry when you're performing your artistic twirl?
And there was a strut.
Yes, strut, I'm not competing this year because I'm doing anything but last year. Strut is the most difficult thing I think an athlete in baton could do because you have a music and you have to have exactly 88 steps going left to right. while twirling the baton, and they hear it in the music, and if you take your left step a few seconds too early, you get marked off. So it's
Wow.
a very difficult routine.
Yeah, I
There's,
guess so.
yeah,
Yeah.
I would. There's no way I could count to 88 while trying to dance. Either one of those things are more difficult for me. S- So, tell us about Calgary. That's the Pan Pacific Games? Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Um, this is my first ever international world competition. So there's gonna be people from everywhere. So I'm representing Team USA, obviously, but there's gonna be like everybody, and it's gonna be held in Calgary this year. It's always held in Calgary, and then we have one over the summer that usually switches. I think this year it was in London. I'm pretty sure. Could be wrong. The year before it was in Italy. I know that, and so we do have a world. We're trying to work to be in the Olympics, which is the worlds that I'm going to in Canada are the step towards the Olympics. We just don't quite have the Olympics yet because we have two federations still.
Okay.
That's
Now, I'm
Go ahead,
sorry,
Coach.
Tommy. Well, it's just that she just kind of skipped over. Oh, that's for Team USA. That's huge. What are you talking about? I mean, I didn't even know that. So you are with Team USA.
Yes, I am. I'll be with Team USA this year in Canada.
That's not anything. Oh, it's Team USA. You know what I mean? I mean that is huge. Congratulations.
Thank
And,
you.
and how long have you been with Team USA?
This is my first year actually.
That's all
So,
right.
so with that, do you get more coaches or special training? Do you go early to do anything special or?
So I actually did just switch over to a new coach this year. Her name is Kathy Forsythe. She's an international coach, so she kind of just goes around and coaches. And so I've been traveling to have lessons. I was just in Vegas actually to have a lesson with her as she coaches the Washington Twirler and was there for the Pac-12 championship game.
Oh
Wow,
wow.
that, that's phenomenal. That's absolutely amazing. It's not every day we have an athlete from Flagstaff representing Team USA, so this is super special.
Exactly. And it's also showing other young ladies and men out there how far you can really take this sport. I mean, we just see you out there and twirling at the games and stuff. Thank you, Tommy, for bringing her here because this is huge, and nobody knew about you. You just sit there quiet, and you are so awesome. You really are. Do
Thank
you
you.
do you like the ends of your batons and twirl them too?
Yeah.
You're crazy too, huh? No, really. So how dangerous actually is that?
It's pretty dangerous. I've gotten quite a few injuries, you know. It's a flying metal stick, so a lot of problems could happen. I've had my nose broken many times now. And then you also get like the average like dancer injuries. I have lots of knee problems from all the gymnastics stuff I do. And your
Ah,
fingers
So,
jamming your fingers, you wouldn't think it hurts that much, but
it
it
does.
really does.
So I
oh,
got one right now. Yeah. But really, and see, once again, I don't know why I'm just really fascinated by this, just because I didn't know took all this to be a twirler.
Yeah, it takes a lot of gymnastics, dance, acting, and hand-eye coordination, and you also have to be very fit. I do cross training because like our artistic row is almost 2 minutes long of just like going. So you have to be very in shape too, so you can keep up with the regimen of it.
right. Like I said in the beginning, when I was watching the performance, I was in awe. Like when you really take it in and you're watching there's no way I could throw the baton that high, do a couple of twirls, and then catch it. So looking at every single move, and I mean it takes like strength and timing and to come back up and ready to catch it. So you make it look so easy in the performance, but nobody sees the practice. So it's interesting to
Right.
hear the injuries you've gone through, how much you've had to persevere to get where you're at now. And that makes it even more impressive because, as coach knows, we see game time only. Very few people see behind the scenes when you're putting in all the work and you're icing your knees and you're doing all that. So
Right.
what gives you the motivation to continue on?
I don't know. I just like I've always loved this sport and just like knowing that I'm like teaching people about it because I feel like a lot of people before I came to Flag High, at Flag High we didn't have a twirling program that was grown that much. I've loved to help grow that program. We've started performing at pep assemblies and I'm doing basketball games and I'm doing NAU basketball games. And so I think I just like for future twirlers, I really just want to like help make it greater so they have a easier pathway.
Well, that's all right. And Team USA, how many team members are on that team?
I don't know, it differs every year, so you just qualify for it, and so it just depends on how many they take every year. There's individual athletes who compete in Team USA, and then there's also a team for Team USA, a team division, so they go and compete against the other teams like Japan. So they pick that every year at nationals.
And so you got all your USA gear and it just loads you down with a bunch of gear and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my USA flag and take it to Canada.
Wow. We better get our autographs early, coach.
That's what I'm talking about, man. This is big time. And I coach at Flag High School basketball, so I'm gonna start paying more attention to the halftime show.
Yeah.
And catch you out there for one of your performances. I know her. Yes, indeed. So, how high can you throw the baton and still catch
Pretty
it?
high. I'd say
So,
over 40 feet because I've hit almost every gym ceiling.
Wow.
really?
How much does a baton weigh? How much,
I don't know,
you
probably
know?
not a pound.
Okay.
Right
And it's
about it.
weighted at the end to make it
Yeah.
flip.
Yeah. There's a big end and a little end, and one is a little bit heavier than the other, so it makes it rotate correctly.
Okay.
There's a science behind this, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of physics behind it. Like when you're preparing to do a new trick, like my
Mhm.
double illusion, where I like go upside down and twirl under it twice, you have to throw it to the left a little bit because if you throw it straight up, it will fly to the side. So you also have to like when you're performing every trick, the toss is different. So you like your muscle memory kind of remembers where to toss it. So I know on my double, I have to toss it left, but not too left because on my double cartwheel, I have to like chuck it left, like across the room left.
Wow.
Wow, this
Uh,
this is crazy. It
yeah.
is, man. I am, Shine. I'm truly fascinated with this and the things that I haven't even seen you do it yet. But just the things you're talking about doing. This is incredible. This is absolutely incredible. Now you say you can do three batons at one time.
Yes,
Did you
that is.
start that by juggling first?
Yeah, I started off my mom bought me like balls with like glitter in them from the dollar store and I would walk around in my living room and just try to figure out how to juggle them. And then once I started learning three baton, it wasn't really similar at all, but it was the thought that counts.
That was a complete waste of time,
Yeah.
huh?
So what's different in juggling? Besides, I understand you got a longer, apparatus that you're using, but
So like when you juggle, like normally you just throw them up, but when you do three baton with a baton, one goes down and the other one you actually toss over your head here. And it repeats with all three of them. So there's three motions instead of just one. You're not just going up and down. You're going over and you're going
Oh.
up and it's a lot different.
So
yeah, well,
when you're doing three baton, is that still a performance? Are you dancing at all with that or?
Sometimes I do footwork, but I do more than just juggle. Like sometimes I'll toss all three of them up and do an illusion under it and catch all three of them, which is usually my big field trick. And there's also many different juggles. You can do flat juggles where the baton isn't vertical anymore, it's horizontal to your head. and you can do lots of things with three baton. It's way more than just juggling, so I count that as a performance most of the time.
Man,
Absolutely.
I'm still trying to get my girls to dribble a basketball and make a layup. Yeah.
And that's just one ball.
Just one ball.
Well, you
Yeah.
sound like a magician, and everything you do is just absolutely amazing. So, how long did it take you before you started incorporating two and three uh and dance and
Um, I'd say for field, freshman year was obviously my first year. Freshman year, I didn't do as much. We also had three graduating seniors, so I was kind of on the back lines there. And then my sophomore year, I started incorporating way more two baton and three baton in my field. And then this year, I got the opportunity to be the featured twirler and the captain at Flag High. So I got many solos. So I had to start using lots of two baton and three baton to fill up my time, which I'm glad about because I consider three baton and two baton my strongest suit because I've won lots of titles in that, and that's just what I feel comfortable with.
So, do you aspire to go to college? Maybe can you get a scholarship through twirling the
Yes.
baton?
Yeah, there's many scholarships out there for baton. I do tend to go to college with this. Haven't decided where yet, but I have many options of where I could go that has a great twirling environment.
So,
what
do
are
they
some of the
recruit
schools?
you? I'm sorry, Tim.
What?
I was just asking, what are some of the schools you've that are looking at you?
So I've taken some visits. I've seen ASU. They have an amazing twirling program. I've been to CU Boulder in Colorado, and I've been looking there to twirl. And then I've also been looking at San Diego State. Those are my three top options right now.
And do they recruit you just like they would recruit a football player or basketball player?
Kind of, you have more of an audition. So once you get
Okay.
accepted to the school, you go and audition, and there's a series of online, and you have to have a twirling resume, and then you'll go and perform a routine in person at an in-person audition. And they usually, all the spots I'm trying out are featured twirler. So it's not a team of twirlers, it's only one or two twirlers at most. So
Mhm.
Okay, that's awesome. Um, so with looking at college, so do you compete still at the national level while you're going to college, or is that something completely different?
no, I'll still compete in college. Most twirlers do. Competing in college is kind of the peak of one's twirling career, you would say. Like all the big national titles are usually college twirlers.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, that's wow. I mean, it gets more and more impressive. I like what we're hearing. I love that we're able to spotlight your sport as probably one of the top twirlers at Flag High. Are you like a player coach? Like, do you help the other twirlers get as you're out there? Do you help coordinate what's going on and routines?
Yeah, actually, this year at the football game was my first year really doing this, but as captain, I did choreograph all the routines that we did on the football field this year. So all the routines you saw at halftime was my choreography. So I'm also starting to not just twirl, but I'm choreographing routines. We had a winter concert Wednesday at the school, and those were I choreographed the routine for that, and I also choreographed my routine for the NAU volleyball game, which got me into this.
Well, you're big time now. You was us.
Yeah.
So don't worry. I'll let Team USA and everything. You on the fifth quarter, girl. Yes, yes, indeed. Um, are you guys twirling tonight at the game?
No, I won't be twirling there, but I will start twirling. I have a Flag High basketball game on the 11th, I'm pretty sure.
Hmm.
And I also have an NAU basketball game in February. So I'm not starting at basketball games till after break is over.
Okay, I need to get those on my calendar.
Right, right. That is good stuff. And so, what got you into twirling? What was it about twirling that where you said, okay, this is it. This is what I want to do.
It's just like I've never like had the urge. I used to play some basketball, definitely wasn't my thing. I'm I'm just like I've always liked dance, but it was just such a broad sport, and I think I just really wanted something that could be really uniquely to me, like, when you hear twirler, you don't really think of that many people, so I just wanted
Right.
something that could be unique,
Mhm.
and I just I felt pretty cool, I guess, and especially when I got to high school, it made me really wanna do it more, seeing how much like, at assemblies, how much the people really loved to watch it.
I can definitely see that because I was fascinated, obviously, and that's why you're here. So we're glad you picked twirling, and we're glad we're able to have you here. So when you started, was there many kids your age twirling?
Yeah, I had a pretty big team when I first started for competition, but as you get older, I don't think the percentage of people who make it to college twirling is very high. You especially see that in competitions. Like my age group this year, even though I was 15 at nationals this year, I was put into the 16-year-old category because of my age group. And I'd say one of my age groups that I competed against for two baton this year had maybe 50 to 60 people in it, and then you look at, like, the 17 and 18-year-olds, and they all drop down to, like, maybe 18 people.
Wow.
So
And you mentioned that you work with the band.
no, I am with the band, yeah.
Okay, so great. All right, so you have to do your choreography for your group, then you have to get out there and do it with the band. Then
Mhm.
you have to do your other single stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, yeah, I don't
So
think of
how do
like
you make that mesh?
it's definitely not an easy task, but the only, like, saving grace is we finish competing in July, and then we have maybe a week off, so our off season is about a week, maybe a little less than that. Once we get back from nationals, we start for band camp, and so we have a little break, but then once it starts hitting October, November, it gets a little rocky because you start competition routines in October,
Mhm.
also while being at the peak football game.
Right.
But I would say my focus is mainly on competition twirling. I started with competition twirling. I don't think people realize like when you go out at a football game, the stuff we do is really quite simple to us because we're performing, so we don't want to drop it. It's stuff I've probably been doing since I was in 5th or 6th grade. I do
Mhm.
lots of more simpler tricks that I think the audience is gonna like more than the difficulty level.
Mhm.
Wow, you are absolutely fully committed to year round. How do you balance that with academics?
Sometimes it's really hard. Sometimes I become more of an athlete than a student athlete, but I just really try to get all my academics done in school so I don't have homework out of school because I don't have time out of school. But I just also have to really focus and remember that I'm also going to college for academics.
Right.
Right? Yeah, there is a
Right.
balance.
Yes it is. And we always have a challenge with our other co-host, Tyrone Johnson, because he's always doing stuff. So we're gonna see who can if he can juggle long enough, because he calls himself a juggler, or if you can twirl the baton long enough. And so we're gonna have a little competition between you and Coach Johnson. But so what would you tell a young lady who wants to get into baton twirling? What's the easiest steps to get there? What does she really need to know? Um, Besides the fact that it's a little harder than we thought. You don't just go out there and start twirling the baton.
I would say I hope you like a lot of glitter because it's a lot of glitter. And I would just say find a good coach near you, and if it's what you like and it clicks with you, then keep doing it because baton can get you a lot of opportunities and it'll just be really good for your life for me, but that's only if it's the right fit for you. Some people it's not the right fit.
Right. And you say how many hours a day do you practice?
I try to practice for 3 hours.
Mm, that's tough. And do you incorporate any weight training with this? I know you did
Yeah.
power fit and things like that.
Yeah, I have, a physical therapist for my injuries, and he's also been helping me get stronger in my arms and stuff because it uses a lot of arm strength. And I also run and I swim and I just try to keep my stamina up.
So these are the things that you don't think of when you think of a baton
Right,
twirler or you see a
right.
baton twirler. There's so much behind the scene work that you're putting in, and it's truly impressive to see somebody so dedicated and obviously passionate. You love what you do, so it's amazing. So when you're working out and it's easy or it's not easy, and what is it that keeps you going?
I've had some times where I think like maybe I can't continue with baton, like it's too much or it's just not working out. But then I try to always remember like how good it feels like winning that title or how much the hard work is gonna pay off. The thing that keeps me going is like the amazing student section that we have at our football games, like during football season, when I feel a little defeated, I just remember like student section is gonna be screaming your name tomorrow. Just push a little bit harder, you know?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
that's awesome. You have to find your why. Why are you doing it? Why are you
Exactly,
competing? And
exactly.
and it definitely seems like you found yours.
Mm. Yes, it did. And now, did you say that baton twirling is an Olympic sport now, or they're trying to bring it in as an
They're
Olympic sport?
trying. Yeah, they're trying to make it an Olympic sport. We have 2 federations, there's USTA, which I'm a part of, and then we also have MBTA, and in order for it to be an Olympic sport, the 2 federations have to come together, and so the competition in Canada is a WBTF competition, which is USTA and MBTA combined, so that's our first step to being an Olympic. So if it was sanctioned by the Olympics, this is basically what our Olympics would be.
And would it be in the 2024 Olympics?
No, I don't know, it might take a little bit more time than that.
Mhm. I
Correct.
know I know how flag football evolved really quick, and now it's an Olympic sport.
Yeah,
And so I was wondering if that was the same situation with baton twirling.
yeah. I think, we also have some coaches who are going around the world, like, there's this coach named Annetta Lucero who is working in Sweden right now because
Mhm.
we have a lot of countries, but not enough, so they're trying to bring awareness and spread baton so we
Gotcha.
can get enough athletes.
Right.
Right.
Well, you
That's
know what?
I was
You
gonna
know,
just ask, oh, go ahead, coach.
no, go, you go.
All right, with all of your accomplishments, what what's at the top? What are you most proud of? Was there a certain competition that you're that just brought you more joy than the others?
Mm, I have like, obviously, my big title win was my state artistic twirl win, which I've held for 2 years now, hopefully going for a 3rd year with that. That was obviously, like, my biggest win that I'm most excited about, but I think my biggest accomplishment is this year was my first year ever competing in the advanced division at nationals, and my two baton, which I love the most, I placed 9th with out of maybe 50, 60 people, for my first time in advanced, and it was nerve-wracking, and I was so terrified, but I think even though it's not a win, it's a win for me with 9th
Right,
place.
right. That is awesome, and you're talking nationally,
Right.
so
Yeah.
that is awesome. So, you know, it's that time in the show when we ask you to give us a little motivation, a little something to leave the young ladies and young guys with. And we call it our da 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 Tommy Hernandez golden nugget question of the day. So Tommy, I was coming at you, man. What
I
what question
did.
do we have?
Wow, man, it's hard to narrow it down to one.
Right.
Learning about a new sport is so exciting. Hearing about all your accolades and accomplishments is so exciting. But we'll narrow it down. We're gonna ask you, what advice do you have for all of the young athletes out there striving to reach their goals, both academically and athletically? How do they set the bar in their life and achieve those goals?
My biggest advice would to be just focus on yourself and your goals. Don't let other things distract you and just do what is passionate to you, and if it's the right thing, it'll work out. I always have to remind myself, if it's meant to be, it'll be. Don't stress about it. Just work towards what you have and it will work out. I promise.
Well, that's all
Hey,
right. We said for the younger folks, but that goes for the older folks too.
yeah.
So that is great advice. That is great advice. Sean, just thank you for being on this show. You're just another one of the young people that Flexstyle can be so proud of.
Thank you.
And you know, I'm happy to meet you. I will definitely say hi when I see you at the games and sit down and watch your performance. So just
Sounds good.
thank you very much for being on the show.
Yeah, Cheyenne, I really appreciate you coming on and sharing about your sport and all of your accomplishments, all the hard work you put in behind the scene. We're absolutely cheering for you. You have
Yes,
a couple of new fans,
that's
and I know
right.
everyone that's watching are, they're going to be fans of yours and the sport. So keep on keeping on, keep on doing your thing, and we'll be cheering you on.
Thank you. You guys too. I love this show. It's so amazing.
Well, thank
Well,
you.
thank
And if
you.
you have anything you want to put on the show, if you've done something, if you're doing something,
Yes.
if you got a fundraiser going on,
Mhm.
hit us up and we'll get it out there for you. We
I will.
we
Thank
really
you.
want to get you out because as Tommy said, you got a couple fans now for sure. You got some, sure, I want your autograph. That's right, because you will be heard of. So hey, thank you very much. I know you got to get back to school. So hey, thank you, and we'll be keeping an eye on you and following you.
Of course. Thank you.
All
All
right, all
right. Thank
right.
you.
All right, Tommy, good show, man. Thank you. You did a good job producing that, man, and getting her out here. And this is what the show's about. It's people like that, especially young people doing amazing, amazing things. And they're so humble that
Right. Yeah.
if it's
I
not like
mean,
people like you wouldn't know anybody anything about this young lady who's on the USA team. Yeah.
right. Yeah. What an
And
accomplishment. And
right. I mean, that's huge. And it's letting other kids in Flagstaff know I can be on the USA team, whether it's basketball, whether it's track, whether it's volleyball, whether it's baton twirling. I can do it out of Flagstaff. And that's what's important about this.
absolutely. It was an honor to have her on
It
and
was.
learn about a new sport. I'm glad that I went to that game and saw her and witnessed the, greatness. And like I said, it was just as soon as you see her perform, you're watching something special, even though you don't necessarily know about the sport. And I'm
Right.
glad we got to, spotlight her and her sport. So how fun. What a
That's right.
great way to end the week.
It was. It's a great way to end the week, man. So now we can move on with the rest of the weekend.
Yes, sir.
All right. So hey, man, you have done good today. I don't know what you got to go on the rest of the week, the rest of the weekend, but I guess you can go spend time with your family, enjoy that. And hey, I don't know what everybody else got to do. You ain't got to go home.
But you got to get out of here.